Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Lucifron and NaNi, this time on Scrap Station. Lucifron spawning as the yellow Terran player at the 12 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have NaNi spawning as the green Protoss player over here at the 3 o'clock position. Now, Games 1 and Games 2 were very, very interesting. I think Game 2 was on Shakur's Plateau. Game 1, I'm either thinking Metalopolis or Lost Temple for some reason, but I believe the games are in order. You will be able to go back and check out that replay. Anyways, NaNi currently setting up a 9 pylon here, and now Scrap Station, an interesting map just for air units, just because of the short flying distance in between these two locations here. So if you take a look, you can see that it is a relatively short flying distance into each other's bases. So you would be able to do a lot of mineral harassment with Void Rays and Banshees. Phoenixes are also fairly effective as they're able to graviton beam up mules and then using those and then shoot them down. Mules costing about anywhere from essentially 30 to about 300 minerals each. I believe that's the approximation. Lucifron now setting up a barracks here. An interesting positioning on this barracks. He will not be able to get a tech lab very easily, and he won't even be able to mine off of this Vespene Geyser that easily either. We do see a probe now making its way out and across the map already. We'll be able to activate that Zelnaga watchtower for just a split second. Both players knowing where exactly the other player is so far. Excuse me. Knowing exactly where the other player is so far, as we now see a refinery being placed down as well. So both sides pretty much doing a standard opening so far. Lucifron did try to go for a 3-racks build against NaNi, but the 3-racks build was not successful enough in order to stop the Protoss 4-gate with a Stargate acting as sight. Will the same thing happen on this map? I'm not quite sure yet, as NaNi is now getting that cybernetics core. My guess would be that we should be getting a second refinery down in just a little bit, and that will allow for stronger and higher tier units. We now see a tech lab being placed down here to open up for that Vespene Geyser if it does get built. Production wise, only a supply depot currently being built, so it does not look like he's going to be trying to go for a refinery that early. We now see a marine making its way out and making sure that there are no proxy pylons anywhere on this side of the map, ensuring that he is not going to be fighting against a 4-gate rush. We do see a stalker currently being chrono boosted out of out of the gateway here, and taking off 10 units of time. That stalker will be able to come out in 32 game seconds as opposed to 42. So yeah, being able to come out much more quickly. We do see some barracks now being laid down as well, as that SCV tries to run away from that stalker. The stalker does move a little bit more quickly. He's trying to hide in the vents, able to get some additional distance, and now trying to run back away, and now getting another laser in the face. We do see a Stargate now coming in from NaNi. So NaNi getting that Stargate will be able to get those Void Rays relatively early. We do need to see more Marines coming out, as we have a second barracks now being laid down. Because Lucifron did not go for the extra gas here, he may be fighting an uphill battle against Void Rays and Phoenixes. In just a little bit, we do see a Stalker and a probe now activating this Zelnaga watchtower here. Will be able to gain sight, and if the Marines are able to start destroying these destructible rocks and trying to make their way into this position here, they would be able to mass up a large army and deal a lot of damage. We do see 2 additional gateways currently being warped in on the backside as well, so one scanner sweep will not be able to reveal all that much information. Currently, as we now see, most likely a Void Ray will be coming online. No, a Phoenix coming online first, and now being chrono boosted. This is part of patch 1.1.3, so the build time is a full 45 game seconds instead of 35, so that Phoenix will not be able to come out all too quickly. And now as that Phoenix comes out, he will be able to get a lot of information here, perhaps pick up the mule. I'm kind of curious, if you pick up a mule, does its timer actually still go down? I'm not 100% sure about that, as Marines are now currently being trained. The Phoenix just wandering around so far, getting a lot of information, a lot of sight, sees another barracks being laid down. Lucifron deciding that he needs to go for another barracks if he plans on dealing with the air units and the air harassment coming in from NaNi. So NaNi getting 2 Phoenixes. However, if he goes for too many Marines, he will quickly find himself in a very dangerous situation, as we do see 3 Stargates as well. If he just cuts production on the Stargate after this Void Ray, it would be very effective, as Lucifron will only have Marines and Marauders. We do see an engineering bay down, and now we should probably see perhaps 1 or 2 missile turrets in play in order to protect this mineral line. 1 missile turret being placed down here, another being placed down here. Void Rays would still be able to come in and deal damage on this backside as these Phoenixes now looking around to see if they can pick up any units and now kill them down, kick them down. Down goes 1 SCV as those Phoenixes now try to back off once again. No stim pack on those Marines just quite yet, currently being researched, so they were unable to use that stim pack and get underneath those Phoenixes and try to take it down. So now that we have 2 missile turrets in play, I'm curious as to what the Void Ray will be able to successfully be able to pull off now. The Void Ray will be a strong counter against those Marauders, but there are a decent number of Marines, and now Lucifron taking down these destructible rocks. 1 Marauder on that backside will be able to act as a little bit of a scout here as these units now make their way out. I do not see a proxy. Oh, there is 1 proxy pylon over here by the by the Zelnaga watchtower, but that is about it, and no additional units so far as these rocks are now getting cleared out. So the Void Rays and the Stalkers may be able to trap in these units, and this is going to be a very, very bad sight in just a moment. There we go. NaNi now moving in. Lucifron now trying to come back in as well. We do see Void Rays using those using that graviton beams, trying to deny any of those Marines, and now 1 Void Ray is going to have a very, very easy time against multiple Marauders, as those Marauders are unable to attack the air, and Lucifron losing much of his attacking force here. Army-wise, 1,400 versus 0. Or now versus 50, as more Marines are trying to be trained. You can see that the Void Rays are now trying to take down these destructible rocks over here. The Void Rays dealing 16 damage against these destructible debris every game, or every 0.6 seconds. So that is a very, very high DPS, I think somewhere in the 25 range, as there is now 1 missile turret currently sitting here trying to protect against any Void Rays and against any Phoenixes. Those Stalkers and those Zealots will be able to come into here in just a moment. A lot of SCVs trying to mine. Lucifron does have an economic advantage, but that is the only advantage that he has at this point in the game. SCVs coming off the mineral line, trying to repair that 1 missile turret. The missile turret is currently being repaired just enough as Marauders and Marines are once again trying to engage. The missile turret over here and still not being able to be repaired any further as Stalkers are engaging as well. Void Ray in the air just picking off many of those Marines, and this 1 Void Ray up to 8 kills already is the real threat. The Void Ray will be able to take down this last orbital command in just a moment now that that missile turret is gone. Marauder trying its best in order to kite some of those Zealots, trying to get more and more kills. More Stalkers now coming in as well. NaNi doing a great job. Taking a look at the production tab, more Marines and more Marauders trying to be trained. The orbital command will quickly get taken down in just a moment. There it goes, and now Lucifron in a serious world of hurt. No way to really deal with these Void Rays without any Vikings. A starport with a reactor would easily deal with those Void Rays, and then the Marauders would have been able to deal with a lot of those ground units. Marauders and Marines trying to engage once again. Force fields coming in, splitting that army in half. SCVs walking to their death, trying to engage against multiple Stalkers here. Zealots now getting into the front, once again absorbing some of those attacks from those Marauders, as those Phoenixes are now start picking up Marines once again. No, not picking up Marines. The one Void Ray now down to 25 hit points, picking up Marauders instead, and now being able to just use this Void Ray, able to attack, move, and now just simply move forward. You can see Lucifron being forced to say GG as his economy is completely in shambles. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to this best of 3 cast between Lucifron and NaNi. This is game 3 here on Scrap Station. Lucifron not really deviating, sticking with that sticking with the multiple barracks build. However, if your opponent, especially on Scrap Station, is going to be going for Void Rays, you really need the power and the range of those Vikings to try to neutralize that 1 Void Ray. As soon as those Void Rays are taken down, you can get those Vikings back into a ground mode and try to deal with those Stalkers. The Stalkers will win in a 1v1 fight. I believe just because Stalkers have some base armor and they also have more hit points. The Viking does fire a little bit faster, but does a little bit less damage, I believe. Okay, anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Lucifron and NaNi.